we had high expectations for Orlando coming into the season, high expectations for Paolo, high expectations for Franz, and we have quite frankly just been disappointed. Shams tweeted out yesterday that the Orlando Magic star forward Franz Wagner will be sidelined indefinitely after recent tests showed that he is requiring additional time in rehabilitation for soreness in his left high ankle sprain.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Franz Wagner has missed 25 of his last 29 games since he sustained that high ankle sprain on December 7th. This continues a run of injury woes for the Magic over really the last few seasons. It hasn't just been this year. It's really been the last few seasons. Last season and this campaign, the trio of Wagner, Paolo, and Jalen Suggs have played only 14.1% of the games. That's 19 out of 135 games. Let's talk about the Magic. How do you guys feel about it? Mars, I would like for you to kick us off. What is your thoughts and feelings on the Magic right now?
It's disappointing when obviously your two quote-unquote franchise guys can't stay healthy. If you throw in Jalen Suggs, you have three guys who have been injury risks, I guess, for a while. Jalen Suggs has missed, 25 games maybe? Franz has missed half the year. Paolo has been relatively available this year, but last year we saw what happened. So when you're trying to build around those type of guys and none of them can stay healthy, or not for meaningful stretches where they're all together, it's kind of hard to even get a measuring stick of how good the team actually is, because their three best players are never playing. So I think that's unfortunate. Obviously, the investment in Desmond Bane isn't being maximized when you don't have the full roster around Desmond Bane. So you took a big swing and now it's looking like a miss because guys can't stay healthy. I think Franz is a great player, but this is back-to-back years with injuries now. And I think Jalen Suggs is Derek White on a team that isn't winning, which is unfortunate, but like that's the type of impact I think he can have. Defensively, I think he's one of the best guards in the league. Offensively, he does a lot of things well without needing to shoot the three well, which I think is a testament to his level of impact. Because if he's shooting 37, 38%, you've got like all-star level impact. Not that he's going to make an all-star team, but all-star level impact. Paolo, I think for whatever reason, people have decided that now is the time to just start piling on him and start calling him trash, which I think is unfortunate. But he's a young player where the flashes have been evident in the playoffs and whatnot. And Anthony Black, to Swiper's point, has been a revelation for them this year. He's been probably, alongside Jalen Suggs' level of play, he's probably been the shining light on this team, where you have someone who, I'm not saying franchise player or whatever, but the leap he's taken offensively in particular has been nice to see. So I don't think it's over for them, but I was never that high on them to begin with. I didn't think this team was a contender. I didn't think this team was going on a deep playoff run. But I do think they have interesting pieces. They just need to get healthy. And that's the toughest thing to do. So when you're injury prone, getting healthy is difficult. But if they can figure it out, I want to see them all together. I'm intrigued by the prospects of a Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black, Franz, and Paolo core four. I'm intrigued by that. But you need to see it. And we haven't seen it.
I was the idiot who had this team go into the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, you weren't the only one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a popular opinion to believe in.
I really bought into the Desmond Bane addition, and I did not see this type of season coming from Paolo. He's been genuinely awful in so many ways. The efficiency, the decision-making, the defense, it's just all trash. I don't understand why he's so bad. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
So he and Franz, since the start of last year, I think have played 58 games together only. And I think their record's 29 and 29. So what's going to happen now, because we all know this is coming, at the end of this season, when the Magic get bounced or don't make the playoffs at all, some nasty conversations are going to be happening around Paolo, around Franz. Do they fit? Should we move them? I mean, they're still 23 and 24 years old. Is this a situation where we stay patient? Because for the longest time, we said the same thing about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown until they got over the hump. Now, I'm not saying that they're that level of player, but Are you guys in the camp that we still need to give these guys time, or have you seen enough where we need to move off them as a duo?
Well, the good thing about that, Damien, is that it's just going to be talk. And it's just going to be talk from the outside. It's going to be us, having off-season conversations. You know how we do in the off-season. It gets nasty. And then, it's going to be other people around, other podcasts, other guys on Twitter, TikTok and stuff. They're just going to be talking. That's all it's going to be. This team is perfectly fine. They'll be okay. They're young. They just have to, get healthy, have a good off-season. Anthony Black, like Mars pointed out, I think he got some, much-needed minutes this season. I think next year will be a year where we're going to spend, like I said, we'll spend a whole lot of offseason talking about how trash this team is and, oh, my God, they'll never do anything. Did you see they can't stay healthy? And, all the regular nonsense. And then next year they'll be a 4-3 seed, and we'll be like, oh, nobody saw this coming. Can you believe the bounce back? That's how it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm completely opposite with you, Ox. I know these guys are young, but once again, you guys kind of heard what I said with the Donovan Mitchell thing. I still stand with that type of philosophy. I want to go get another star, a better star, to pair with either Paolo or Franz. To me, it doesn't matter. That's what I want to do. Like if we get, like, let's say for instance, if I'm the Magic and we happen to land on anywhere from 8 to 12, if Keaton falls into our lap because they need shooting desperately, if Keaton Wagner is available in the draft, I'm getting him, and I'm getting off of one of those other guys. And I'm trying to go find one more.
You just made him German, right? You just Germanized his okay.
Wagner.
Franz Wagner, Keaton Wagner. Okay, got you. Wagner. Cool.
However it is, I'm trying to get Keaton because I want to get more shooting, another young shooter, and a guy that can handle the rock. And like I'm packaging up a package of Suggs. I want to keep Anthony Black. I'm packaging up a package of Suggs and Franz, or Suggs and Paolo. And I'm trying to go get
Jalen Suggs. Yeah, I ain't trading Jalen Suggs. Yeah, good on
I'm
that.
trading Paolo to
I like
anyone who
Anthony
wants
over
them.
Suggs.
Do you think Anthony Black is better than Jalen Suggs today, or he's gonna be better?
I like the ball in his hands more. I'm gonna just put it that way. That's more so how I'm looking at it. They can coexist, and like the Magic, like to Ox's point, the Magic are good enough to run it back, but it's just something funky about the fit between what they have going on. I just really don't like it, and nobody stepped out as the clear leader, clear face of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest thing is nobody.
Well, that's because Franz ain't healthy to do it.
I don't know.
It's quite obvious. In my opinion, I think me and Ox have been on this side for a while. It's been the sky's.
You think it's quite obvious? You think it's clear?
Been obvious for 3 years.
I think the sky's been blue for a minute.
So even if that's the case, so let's say Franz was to come back and was to convince me over. Let's say he just played the last 10 games of the season and he was balling, has a good first round in the playoffs. They get bounced. If now Franz is our clear-cut number one option, it's like Paolo, buddy. We got to get somebody to come and either compliment Franz, and with that compliment, it could be Franz complimenting that player or that player complimenting Franz. But it's just like I'm not really liking the fit between those.
Franz has more trade value. I'm positive on that one.
I'm keeping Paolo. If I'm Orlando, I'm keeping Paolo.
Why?
Because
I'm still there too, Dave.
One of the reasons why is, well, he's younger is the first reason. But I mean, they're not too dissimilar in age. But yeah, it's only a year. Yeah. They're not too dissimilar in age. That's not the main reason. That's one of the reasons. So number one, he's younger. Number two is if Franz is my best player, I know that I'm not going anywhere. I still think that if the jump shot comes around for Paolo, combined with his physical tools, because like as good as Franz is, he doesn't have the physical tools Paolo has. If that can all somehow come together, I still have more upside with Paolo, in my opinion. I think Franz is a better player than him today, but even with Franz, I'm not looking at him as like my franchise cornerstone, someone that can be a number one option on a championship team. So I would rather take the punt with Paolo and see what ultimately he becomes than having a safer bet now with Franz and maybe reducing potentially the ceiling and potentially be stuck with a contract for a number one option that I know we can't go anywhere with. That's where I'm at with it. I still believe Paolo's best basketball is ahead of him. I think that the jump shot is very concerning. It hasn't come around. I think that the IQ stuff is worrying. I think some of the injuries have been concerning as well, but I'm still going to believe in Paolo for now. I'm gonna give him at least another few years, man. I'm not getting off him.
You don't want to keep them together, Demi?
I would keep them together. Like if that was an option, I would keep them together. But if I had to make the decision on one of them, I'll be moving off Franz before I move off Paolo.
That's one thing.
I
You
think
get
it's the
drafted
marketing,
that
man.
high, you get a lot of leniency. It's why Jalen Green was able to hang around Houston for as long as he was. Because when you're drafted that high,
You're an
the
asset.
the bar you have to figure it out because teams don't want to feel like they wasted a pick. You draft Paolo number 1 and you see Chet winning NBA championships and whatever, and it's like, oh, okay, let's make sure we. What is it? The Penn says the thing all the time when like you hold on to something because you've invested so much into it.
It's a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, that I think that's kind of what you go through with a lot of these high draft picks.
It's doubling and
Paolo,
tripling
there
down
is
on a bad
upside,
idea.
maybe.
It's doubling and tripling down on a really bad idea too. That's why I genuinely, while I am depressed at the return that the Mavericks got for Anthony Davis, I applaud their front office for being willing to do that because that's really hard to do. When you know you've made a mistake, the best thing you can do right away is own up to it and cut your losses. When you've made a bad investment and you realize, this is going the wrong way, cut your losses. I used to be a financial advisor in my early 20s. I watch people try to double down, triple down because they just don't want to be wrong. But it's like, dude, you wanting to be wrong or not wanting to be wrong doesn't change the fact that you were wrong, right? It's like the Trae Young Luka thing. They traded Luka Doncic. For years, they were trying to prove to the entire world that Trae Young's not that much worse than Luka. And now they dump Trae Young at his absolute lowest. And believe me, both players got traded, but one of them got traded for significantly less, right? And it's also like the anchoring bias where people, come out with a really stupid take. Like, I don't know, around the Luka and AD trade. I think a lot of us were like, this is crazy. But some of us were like, meh, I could see it working. AD's a really great player. It'll work. So is there
put a
some
name
sort
on
of,
it?
I don't have that photographic memory, Ron. You might have the archival footage.
No, I know who it was. It was Chill and it was Ox.
Oh,
There you go. So I'm just saying, like, you should just own up to that and just be like, you know what? Like, fuck, I'm wrong. This is just really stupid. My bad.
but not Pin. All jokes aside, like that sunken cost thing it's a real thing. Like the sooner you get off a bad decision, the better you will be moving forward. And this is for the most part in all facets of life. Yeah, no, for sure. But especially like with these picks, like we see teams do this all the time where it's like it seems crazy and it sounds crazy, and they'll make a trade and it's like, you guys got fleeced. Why would you do that? No, it's literally getting off somebody that is not. They're not going to provide any value for you in the future. They may be the better player now, and they may be the better player in the deal, and the deal may be lopsided, but now we're moving forward and we're going in a whole different direction. And it allows us to take our energy off of that loss that we're going to inevitably take and just get what we can get now.
The Pistons
so we can
moving off Jaden Ivey. Like that's how they go off Jaden Ivey. The Thunder getting off Josh Giddey. The Rockets. Now the Rockets are a little bit different because like you got Kevin Durant back, so it was more just less of just get off Jalen Green, more of get off Jalen Green plus get KD. But like Jaden Ivey, Josh Giddey, bringing back Caruso. I'm not saying Paolo is that level of player, but what I am saying is the idea of buying into the upsides because of what you invested in him and because the vision, I guess, is more than likely not going to pay off. But it's not far from what a lot of teams have done. Like of all players who have shot like at least 3 pull-up jumpers a game, Paolo is second to last in the NBA in efficiency. The only player who's below him is Ja Morant, and Ja's played 20 games. And Ja's also another player where people are kind of off of him. He's shooting like 35% on all jumpers off the dribble. It's terrible. He's shooting 15% on pull-up threes. It's just It's not. It hasn't been great for him this year.
But what
I
is
would
it?
argue
Is
it
it
hasn't
just the
been
shot
great for him
selection?
most years, but
Is it just the shot selection? I've been seeing him do some absolute garbage. But what is it? Is it the mechanics? Is
he's
it
not that good of a shooter. So you pair that with Matt. See, this is the
unless
thing, right?
it's the
Because
playoffs?
I've never been the highest on Paolo because I just don't see what other people saw. Like he doesn't shoot that well, but because I don't view him as like the most functional athlete either. So the idea is like when people are like, oh, Paolo, he needs to play like he's 6'10, 250 and just get to the rim. It's like I'm watching this guy have one of the worst first steps in the league. Like he can't get by people. I don't think Paolo is just choosing to not get to the rim. Orlando also just don't have very good spacing. But Paolo he's not one of those players who can just get themselves 2 feet in the paint whenever they want. Paolo's most redeeming quality is the fact that teams have to foul him because like he's
What would
so
Paolo look
physically
like
imposing.
in Charlotte in place of Mikal Bridges?
Miles Bridges.
Miles Bridges, sorry.
I don't know because I watched Orlando try and up the pace early on this season and it didn't work for Paolo because he's just not. Paolo's a guy who has to catch and survey. Like he's not someone who can catch like your little 0.5 basketball thing. That's not Paolo. Paolo's not someone who's gonna make a bunch of quick decisions off the catch and keep the ball moving and get to the second side. Which is why I don't like the Campazzo comparisons, which is a side note. Is Paolo, he's gonna catch the ball, he's gonna see what the defense is doing, he's gonna allow the defense time to load up, and then he's gonna inevitably struggle to get by his initial defender and turn into a post up and a turnaround jumper. That's kind of just how his offensive process works. The best way I see you maximizing Paolo is you just use him more in the post. Like that's like you give him deep seals, you get him on the low block. Now he has to refine his footwork and his actual like touch and stuff. But like Paolo's not going to get to the rim a whole lot from the outside. You have to get him close to the rim. You have to manufacture the rim opportunities. He's not going to get there by himself. He's not explosive enough. He doesn't have the agility, the mobility to do those types of things. So you're going to inevitably get a lot of jump shots that you don't like, and he can't shoot them that well. But his superpower is his ability that when he is down there, you have to foul him. He's that strong. He's that imposing. So if you can just get him more of those opportunities, I do see a pathway for him to be a really impactful offensive player. It's just right now Orlando's offense is just not catered towards that, and I'm not saying they should cater it towards that because I'm not saying that's a high enough ceiling for a whole team offense. But to maximize Paolo, I think that would help him. So if you are invested in maximizing Paolo, I don't think that means Franz has to leave because I think Franz is a player who can fit alongside pretty much anyone because he's that good. I think Jalen Suggs is another one of those players, but you probably need a space in 5. So that's not Wendell Carter. I don't know. It's a Miles Turner type big, whoever you can find on the market. And you need Desmond Bane to just maximize 3-point shooting. Like this Desmond Bane now, where the last couple of years he's not shooting 10 threes because he wants to get downhill and be a driver. Nah, we need Desmond Bane to be a full-out gunner. Desmond Bane needs to be top 5 in 3-point attempts. That's what you need. You need Desmond Bane running around and everything he's looking at is a 3-point shot. And that's probably how you maximize him. And even then, it's probably going to lead to what best case scenario is some mid offense. I don't think you're going to have an elite offense with Paolo as your focal point, but it can maybe get to mid. And if that's the case, you build a good defense. That's your avenue to be in a playoff team. So,
who is Paolo's best approximation in the NBA right now? Like, what are we wanting him to get to, ideally?
Realistically or ideally?
Well, let's do both, I guess.
Jalen.
I mean, ideally he's like Pistons Blake. That's probably the best case scenario at this point. Realistically, he's
Pistons Blake was smart though.
That's why I said ideally. I don't think he's gonna be as good as Pistons Blake, but ideally that's probably what you get. And then realistically, it's hard because he's too good to be a role player, but not good enough to be a centerpiece. So you end up running into this problem where you don't know how to use him.
A year ago, where were we on Paolo? I think most people had him as a top 15 player. I know I saw a lot of lists with Paolo 9, 10.
No, I know we
11,
had him
12.
top 25. I know we did when
That
we did
for
our
sure.
list.
Hold on, let me
I
go look.
know that there was
After his
a
rookie
video
season,
made.
people thought he was going to be the
I swear to God, I don't know if it was Gil's Arena or what, where they picked Paolo Banchero over Victor Wembanyama in the top 25 under 25. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. So last year I started to humble out. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Paolo might be really great. I let them trick me, man. I let them get me off my pivot. Never again. This Paolo bullshit is archetype bias. That's what it is. You're seeing a mirage of what you want to see because you see the highlights and you see what he can do. And believe me, I've been seduced by it. Like, 50-point game here. Oh, you putting a shoulder into a guy, you dunk it on a guy, he's unstoppable. You're like, oh, wow. If he could just do that, he can't do that.
Paolo
Those are
should
anomalies.
be better than Pistons Blake.
Swap. If he,
No.
if
Why
he
should
turns out-
why
if
should
he
he
turns
why
out to be
should he
like
be? Just why should he be?
I just think he got more. I think he got more on the bounce than that. And the jump shot situation is concerning, but I think he's better. I think he's better at better passer. I think he's better. Just more on the ball, just more with the ball in his hands off the bounce. I think he has more than Blake. More getting downhill, all of that.
Ron, were you arguing?
I don't think he's that good right now,
Paolo
but I
over
think
Wemby?
like this season, but I think he should be better than that.
Ron, were
in
you
years to
arguing
come.
Paolo over Wemby? Was that you?
When?
I don't know. Someone in the chat is saying that you were doing this. I'm just giving the chat their salute.
Maybe 2 years ago, when Wemby was a rookie, and after
Yeah.
Paulo had a fantastic what was that, first or second year? I might have been. I mean, not there anymore, but but I'm still high. I'm still high on Paulo. Like just how Ox said,
Yeah.
I think I still fully expect Paulo to be a superstar in this league, not just a star, not an all-star, a super. Yes, Paulo had with his frame and skills. There's no excuses for Paulo.
So
it's absolutely no excuses. You are 16 and can do everything.
I'm not saying
on all three levels.
I'm not saying Black Swan.
So if there's no excuses, why is he?
Look. Here's the thing. I'm not saying Black Swan events can't happen. Obviously, that's the definition of a Black Swan event. Anything can happen. But I would implore you to find an NBA ready, so not gangly, raw prospect who picked up basketball late like Giannis, but NBA ready player who came into the league, was a top 5 pick, and had a negative on-off for 4 straight years, whereas his team was better with him on the bench for 4 straight years, and then he became a superstar. I would love to see who that player is.
And by the way, do you think that's a situational thing, or he is just that ineffective as a player that he's like?
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think there's a comfort, like there's a cushion, right? There's a cushion that you get when you're great, that even if you are playing with suboptimal lineups, if you're truly great, I can never see those numbers like be that bad. Like, yeah, there are certain stars that carry 4 bench players, and then their co-starters are always playing 2-3 starter lineups, and that's going to impact big time. If you have to floor raise weaker benches as a solo starter, and you do it, I don't know, based on your rotations towards the first quarter, second quarter bridge when starters are still on the court, I don't know, like that could hurt your numbers big time. But if you're really great, it shouldn't be consistent for 4 straight years. So maybe if they optimize the lineup a little bit better.
If he turns out to be like Julius Randle, would that be a disappointment?
For a first
but even Julius though, bro. Remember Julius? Like as much as
at this point, it would be great if he could.
Yeah, as much as I didn't like Julius, Julius at least had Julius and Paolo have different levels of physicality. Julius wasn't skill reliant. Paolo's more skill reliant than Julius was, and Julius also became a better shooter. Remember the 2021 year that he got All NBA, which I think he deserved. He did 24, 10, and 6, and like he was shooting 38% from 3, 40% from 3. But his offensive game was just better. It's just more well-rounded. He was a much better rebounder than Paolo is. And as much as like Julius evolved into a player, he didn't need to have the basketball in his hands in order to still be good and be effective. And unfortunately for Paolo, he's not there yet in his career. But that also could be a timing thing. He might just be too young.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Might just need to
if he ends up getting there. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he ends up getting somewhere similar, I think it would be a success given where he is now, but not where he was after his rookie season. Because there was some crazy conversations after his rookie season. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah.
Like
That's
they were
what
like,
always
this guy's
happens
on
when
like
you average 20 as
Yeah.
a rookie. That's kind of what happens. People
Mhm.
just
But
start
you know who we
projecting
kind of play
you,
like?
and you just
This
think you're
this
wrong.
might sound a little crazy, but when I look at him, there's a level he's again not as good of a jump shooter maybe, but it's like Antoine Jameson, kind of like just a really big wing that can dribble, that is strong, not the fastest player, but Paolo's bigger than Antoine. I think Twan, what are you 6'9", 6'8", something like that.
I think 6'9".
But Paolo's
Big
like he's
frames,
like a defensive end.
Paolo is huge, bro.
Yeah.
Is
Paolo's
humongous.
massive, yeah.
Yeah,
But I think Paolo should be better than Julius Randle, just based on decision making. Like he has, I think the skill set wise he got it, but it's decision making. That's always been my only knock with Julius Randle on the offense. I think he just forces stuff too much. This just makes bad decisions, especially like down, in crunch time and whatnot. I think Paolo is better at, he has a more of an ability passing out of tough situations, and as long as he actually makes the right choices, I don't see why Paolo in the next year or two shouldn't be better than Julius Randle and Detroit Blake. Like, I think he has everything he needs to be better than those guys. And I think he's shown it too. I think he's shown it at parts in points of his career. I think right now is just it's kind of a downtime. I think he's in a serious slump, and I think that also comes with him and Franz struggling to stay healthy and being able to play together.
but bro, he was great last year. Ox, remember the 5 games he played before he got hurt, and then when he came back for that last month and a half, he was phenomenal. And that's the frustrating thing about Paolo. Like I feel like fans have been,
when he came back.
Yeah, he was averaging like 30 or 29 for like a month and a half, and he was shooting well. He was rebounding. Like he had a triple double in that stretch as well. He was playmaking.
Cooked in the play, and then cooked right after that in the playoffs.
He shot well in the playoffs.
I've
think y'all are
seen
really down
enough
on
from
Paolo
Paolo.
right now.
Paolo's
I'm
a
right there
funny
with you.
guy because he gets to the playoffs and starts shooting 40% from 3. So you kind of just be like, shout out to you.
Y'all are really low on Paolo.
I
He's
mean,
had some
I
interesting
am
comments
low on
post-game.
Paolo because after every playoff run, I keep trying to say that I'm not moved that you start shooting 40% from 3, and then you're shooting 45% on 2s. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not viewing that as a sustainable process. I just credit to you. I'm not saying you're not playing well. At the end of the day, if you're making the shots, you're making the shots. But that's not signs of improvement or growth to me. You're shooting 45% on 2-pointers in the playoffs. That's bad. Like, golf clap. You're making 3s, cool, but you're shooting 45% from 2. Like, okay.
Pin, we had Paolo at we had him ranked 20th coming into the season. So when we did our preseason rankings, I could share this with you guys actually.
Please do.
So we can,
Please do.
Ox, you were pretty adamant about that, weren't you? At that time,
Paolo?
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that one of your guys around that spot?
I wouldn't know if it was one of my guys.
I'm pretty sure I was.
I was
almost
high on
positive
Paolo.
I was.
People in the chat saying that 5 months ago, PC was debating Wemby versus Paolo.
Pretty sure Ox said Paolo was better than Wemby, but he also just said Cooper Flag was better than Wemby. So I don't know. I think that's more of a Wemby thing.
No, it's
All
not
right,
a
well,
Wemby thing. It's a Paolo and Cooper Flag thing.
These were the rankings coming into the season. We had SGA number 1. That's aged well. Jokic number 2. Giannis 3. Luka 4. Wemby 5. I see that's aged well.
Wait,
too.
number 6.
Number 6, Joel Embiid.
Come on, yeah.
Anthony
First
Edwards
one.
7. Steph 8. Anthony Davis. Now this one was kind of nasty. 9. KD 10. LeBron 11. Kawhi 12. Oh, Kawhi was still okay. Kawhi was still up there. Kate Cunningham 13. Devin Booker 14. Jalen Brunson 15. Donovan Mitchell. I remember Chill going crazy over this. He was 16. Swiper 17. Shout out Swiper up in New York. 17.
Who was that?
That's
Karen.
That's
Karen.
Swiper Anthony Towns.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I was.
Zion Williamson 18. Evan Mobley 19. And Paolo 20.
Please
Keep
go
going
down
because
until I
Jalen
see
Brown's on
Scotty
like
Barnes.
33 or something like that.
What the?
Nah, it's over.
Y'all
after this.
put
We only did
25 fucking players over Scott. Okay.
Bro, there's
Shout out
names,
LaMelo
there's
Ball.
names that are
Wasn't
there's names
crazy
that
at
are
the
on
time.
here that Scotty wouldn't even be. Man, all right.
Well,
Hey,
here's
man, I
the thing,
believe in the
fellas.
Zion redemption tool.
I remember this
Here's the
like it
thing,
was
fellas.
yesterday. Y'all was disrespecting Jalen Brown. Crazy.
We're gonna redo our player rankings list. We'll probably do it right when towards the end of the season. We might do it in Portland, who knows? But right around probably about a month and a half from now, we'll get into that. So this should be fun to see. exactly who we rank in the top 25. We'll probably do 50 players, but who we rank in the top 50 in terms of what players have done, produced, and look like this year.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops all hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.